On the first day of my time travel, the adopted son came to me holding poison. Rebellion, the throne, execution of 9 generations. Looking at the unfamiliar environment, I remembered in the book that he would rebel when he grew up. Mother, you are ill. Drink the medicine. Laughter. Hunter, come here. Do you think that if you kill me, then kill your foolish father, seize the Gu family property, and lead an army to rebel, you can take revenge and take the throne? Take this. Silly child, rebellion is a business with the highest risk and the lowest reward. Listen to your mother. Don't rebel. Go take the imperial examinations, become a powerful official, and then become a giant corrupt one. Isn't that better? What nonsense are you talking about? You are the orphan of the former dynasty's crown prince. The Gu family adopted you only because the current emperor wanted to show his mercy. Whether I am talking nonsense, you know in your heart. This path of rebellion sounds impressive, but in reality, it is a narrow escape from death. If you win, you own the world. If you lose, 9 generations are executed, and you won't even have a tombstone. But the imperial exams are different. Think about it. Studying hard for years, seeing your name on the golden list, entering officialdom, and from then on, the sky is high for the bird to fly and the sea is wide for the fish to leap. People you dislike, you can submit a memorial to impeach them, making them lose their jobs and have their homes seized and be exiled. The imperial exams require studying the words of sages and being loyal to the king and the country. Laughter. Silly child, why are you so naive? Can what the mouth says and what the heart thinks be the same thing? Look at this. What mother prepared for you is all the real stuff. He looked down at the booklet that overturned his 3 views, then looked up at me. The killing intent in his eyes had already faded, replaced by a complex emotion. After a long time, Guhan gripped the booklet tightly. His eyes became firm for a moment, and he turned to leave, forgetting even that bowl of poison. For the next few days, Guhan locked himself in his room and saw no one. I was happy to be free and began to familiarize myself with my new identity. The original owner's name was Lu Han Yuan, the concubine's daughter of the Grand Tutor's mansion. She had no brains but was cruel. Her husband, Gu Shouping, was a dandy who pretended to be elegant. In this large Gu family, the inner house was managed by the harsh and money-grubbing old madam, while the shops and land outside were held by several uncles and brothers from side branches, who claimed losses every year. In the original book, Guhan could fight a path of blood even in this environment. Now that I am here, his path should change. 3 days later, Guhan finally stepped out of his room. He walked to me, did not bow, but stared straight at me. He was still holding that booklet, which had become frayed from flipping. You are right. Rebellion is the worst strategy. Have you figured it out? I have. I want to take the imperial exams. Good. From today on, I will personally be responsible for your education. Gu Shouping sat in the study, and when he heard the news, he was so shocked he almost knocked over the inkstone. Madam, how can this be? Honor is unruly. We should invite a strict teacher. Master does not trust me? No. What madam says, whatever madam says is right. I didn't bother talking nonsense with him and directly started devil training for Guhan. I did not take Guhan to a school but took him to the accounting office in the south of the city. Inside the office, the second uncle of the Gu side branch, Gu Shota, was checking the harvest of the land under his name this year. Oh, sister-in-law, how do you have time to come to this messy place? I came to see this year's harvest. Oh, sister-in-law, don't mention it. This year was both natural disasters and man-made troubles. The fields yielded nothing. I even put in quite a lot of my own silver. I smiled and signaled Guhan to look at the account books. Is that so? Second uncle, I remember our family's paddy field in the west of the city. Last year the yield was 3 dan per mu. This year the weather was good, so why is it written in the books as only 2 dan? Maybe the tenants were lazy. Oh, then why is the wastage silver fee given to the government 30% higher than last year's market price? I heard the new prefect is very honest and strictly forbids subordinates from overcharging wastage fees. He never thought that a plain account book could hide so many tricks. Sister-in-law, I was wrong. I won't dare to do it again. Do you understand? Honor, remember, the sage's writings are the stepping stones for you to get a position, but these are the real skills for you to stand in officialdom later. One number can make a family perish. One document can change the owner of a piece of land. This is the power of the pen. Your second uncle's method is the lowest form of corruption, full of flaws. A true master can make the fake look real, so you can't even find it. This study is called the art of checks and balances. After dealing with Gu Shota, I followed the clues and warned several side branches who controlled the Gu family industries. I made Guhan check every account book line by line. He was very smart, learned by analogy, and quickly became a small expert at auditing. The uncle's fake accounts had nowhere to hide. I did not drive them to a dead end but made them spit out the silver they embezzled with interest, then took the management rights of the industries back into my own hands. The Gu family old madam was so angry she became bedridden, pointing at me and calling me a disaster. I directly ordered the servants to lock her courtyard gate, providing 3 meals of plain porridge and small vegetables, claiming it was to pray for her and that she needed a pure heart and few desires. Gu Shouping, seeing my swift and resolute methods, was so scared he didn't dare say a word, hiding in the study every day pretending he didn't exist. The entire Gu family was completely controlled by me within half a month. This is the silver taken back. Part of it is to build relationships, hire the best teachers for you, and buy the most precious books. The rest is your activity fund. What do you want me to do? Very simple. Go and make friends with these people. Being an official is not just about studying well. Connections are your weapons. To the local gentry, be humble and polite, making them feel you have a bright future and are worth investing in. To the low-level clerks, give small favors. They can give you intelligence at critical moments. As for these courtesans, don't get the wrong idea. That is the place where information is most accessible. Those princes and nobles say anything when they drink too much. What you need to learn is how to find useful things in this messy information. This is called intelligence analysis. Go, don't be afraid. You are going to be a powerful official, not a sage. Water that is too clear has no fish. A person who is too observant has no followers. Truly powerful people can grow the most beautiful flowers in the mud. Guhan left and began to weave his first network of relationships according to my instructions. He was no longer the boy who only knew how to hide in the dark and feed on hatred. I saw his changes and was happy in my heart. I hired the best teachers in the city to teach him the classics, history, and poetry. By day, he was a hardworking and elegant young student. By night, he began my emperor's mindset lessons. Hunter, remember, power is the best aphrodisiac and also the most toxic poison. Always remember that you use power to achieve your goals. Then what is my goal? Your goal, of course, is to enjoy the pleasure brought by power. I knew he couldn't fully understand these things now, but it didn't matter. The seeds had been planted and would one day sprout and grow. Time flew by, and in a flash, 3 years passed. Guhan had grown into a young man. He inherited the superior looks of the royal bloodline, though that cold air remained. For 3 years, he hungrily absorbed the knowledge I taught him. His learning progressed rapidly under the teachers. His methods also became more experienced under my guidance. He was no longer the child who needed me to hold his hand. Now, the Gu family was managed orderly by him. Those industries once ruined by the side branches came back to life and became more prosperous in his hands. Using the methods I taught him, using both kindness and authority, he brought the city's local bullies and government clerks to his side. Gu Shoping and the old madam were sidelined and became mascots of the Gu mansion, and I became the respected Madam Gu. The day of the provincial exam grew closer. The provincial exam is the day after tomorrow. I am ready. I heard the chief examiner this time is Censor Chin. He is upright and hates opportunistic people most. What are you worried about? Hunter, you still haven't learned enough. What I taught you is not to be opportunistic, but to be able to move freely under any rules. A pure official like Censor Chin naturally won't care for gold and silver, but what if it is the genuine calligraphy of Wang Wenji from the previous dynasty that he loves most? How do you know? I not only know he likes Wang Wenji, but I also know he has been looking for a copy of the timely clearing after snowfall for 5 years, while the real original is in our family storage, bought by your father for a high price to show off. Tomorrow, go visit Censor Chin personally. Don't mention the exam, just say you accidentally got this calligraphy. Know he is a fellow enthusiast, and specially came to ask for his appraisal. If he accepts it, your position as the top scholar in the provincial exam is stable. If he doesn't, it doesn't matter. You are polite, and he will only think you are a junior who respects teachers, and his impression of you will increase greatly. Either way, you don't lose. Remember, the highest level of gift giving is sending it to the other person's heart, making it impossible for them to refuse, and even making them thank you after receiving it. Mother, I understand. He called me mother. I waited 3 years for this mother. The result of the provincial exam had no suspense. Guhan won first place. Censor Chin praised Guhan's essays on many occasions, saying he had world-changing talent. No one knew this was all thanks to one piece of calligraphy. Guhan's name spread throughout Jiangnan instantly. Countless invitations were sent to the Gu house, some to congratulate, some to make connections, and many wanting to marry their daughters to him. Now is not the time. Your path is in the capital, not in this small Jiangnan. In the spring of the 2nd year, we set out for the capital to take the metropolitan exam. Madam, crying, Madam, you and Hunter are truly the pride of our Gu family. How did I, Gu Shoping, get so lucky? Is the silver ready? Going to the capital for exams involves expenses for the journey and social gifts, which are astronomical figures. The current Gu family was no longer the empty shell of 3 years ago. The businesses I had Guhan do all made a lot of money. We went to the capital not just for the exam, but for investment. The capital is the center of power at the emperor's feet. Every official and every noble family here could become a future help. As soon as we arrived in the capital, I had Guhan take my name card to visit my maiden home, the Grand Tutor's mansion. My Grand Tutor father originally married me, a concubine's daughter, off to Jiangnan. Now that I returned with a stepson with a boundless future, one can imagine their attitude. Sure enough, the Grand Tutor's mansion ignored me but was very polite to the top scholar Guhan. My legal mother smiled fakely and held Guhan's hand, hinting at wanting to marry her biological niece to Guhan. Guhan handled it perfectly, neither agreeing nor refusing, keeping them waiting. Why bother with these people who follow the trend? Because they are useful. The Grand Tutor is the current head of the cabinet, with students and old subordinates all over the court. With this relationship, you can save a lot of trouble in the capital. As for your marriage, it is an even more important political investment. Whom to marry or not marry is an exchange of interests. For now, you just need to let them feel there is a chance and let them be used by you. When your wings are strong, marrying whoever you want will be your decision. Before the metropolitan exam, undercurrents surged in the capital as candidates showed their skills. I told Guhan to do nothing and just study peacefully, because I had already found out that the chief examiner for this exam was the emperor's teacher, Grand Secretary Zhang. This Grand Secretary Zhang was a stone even more stubborn than Censor Chen, impossible to bribe. To deal with such a person, the best way is to speak with strength. Sure enough, when the results were posted, Guhan's name was at the top. He won first place again, winning 2 exams in a row. The whole capital was shocked. Everyone knew that unless there was an accident, this year's top scholar, Zhuang Yuan, would definitely be Guhan. On the night before the palace exam, I called Guhan to the room. I did not discuss current affairs or strategy with him, nor did I have him recite classics. I only asked him one question. Honor, do you know what the current emperor cares about most? Is it the barbarians in the north, or the floods in the south? Neither. He cares most about whether the dragon throne under his butt is stable. The emperor is suspicious, especially wary of young talents. You must know how to show weakness before the emperor. Then what should I do? The palace exam. During the exam, you cannot perform too well, nor too poorly. The strategy essay should be beautiful, but the viewpoint should be moderate. At the end of the essay, express your infinite respect for His Majesty. Make him feel that all your talent is willing to be used by him. The position of Zhuang Yuan is too eye-catching. We don't want it. We want a rank that allows you to enter the Hanlin Academy but won't make you a target for everyone. Second place, Bang Yan, or third place, Tanhua, is the best choice. I know that with your pride, giving up the reachable Zhuang Yuan is a torment, but I must make you understand that the tree that stands out in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. Sometimes taking a step back is to move forward 100 steps in the future. Trust me. On the day of the palace exam, the emperor personally questioned them. Guhan's performance perfectly executed my plan, not showing off, but everywhere showing sharp wit and talent. Finally, the emperor waved his brush and appointed Guhan as the third place of the first rank, Tanhua. When the news came, many people felt sorry for Guhan. Only I and Guhan knew this was the best beginning. Guhan officially entered officialdom. Life in the capital was 100 times more complex than in Jiangnan. This was the center of the power whirlpool. Every step must be careful. Seeing that Guhan was only a Tanhua and not a Zhuang Yuan, the Grand Tutor's mansion became much colder. That legal mother no longer mentioned marriage. I was happy for the peace. Guhan's days in the Hanlin Academy were not easy. His colleagues were mostly noble children, arrogant, and openly or secretly excluded Guhan, a mud-legged person from Jiangnan with no background. They made Guhan do the messiest work, grabbed credit, and made Guhan take the blame for mistakes. Guhan almost lost his temper several times but was stopped by me. Why hurry? This is a good thing. A good thing? Of course. Only when they think you are a soft persimmon will they relax their guard. What you need to do now is not to fight for the short term, but to do these most boring tasks to the extreme. What is the Hanlin Academy? It is the archive of the Great Chong Dynasty. Those piles of old paper hide countless secrets, officials' promotions and demotions, the rise and fall of families, and even royal secrets. You remember all these in your heart. One day, this seemingly useless information will become your most lethal weapon. As for those people, let them be proud for now. The higher they jump, the harder they fall. We have plenty of time to play with them. Guhan listened to my words, calmed down, stopped complaining and arguing, and waited patiently for the hunting opportunity. Guhan flipped through all the records in the Hanlin Academy, memorizing the 100-year history of Great Chong and the backgrounds of various officials. Guhan's patience and talent were gradually noticed by observant people. One of them was the 7th prince, also the least favored, Prince Xian, Li Lan. Li Lan was a prince with little ambition, spending his days on poetry, wine, and painting, and got along well with Guhan. The two often discussed learning and gradually became friends. You can be close, but do not take sides. Now the crown prince's position is undecided. Several princes are fighting to the death. Our foundation is not yet stable. Rashly taking sides will only make us cannon fodder. This 7th prince seems to have no desire for the throne, so he is the safest person to associate with. Remember, before the situation is clear, the best strategy is to offend no one and keep a little distance from everyone. Guhan deeply agreed, but a turning point happened at an unexpected moment. The emperor wanted to compile a history of the previous dynasty. The Hanlin Academy was ordered to organize the materials. This was a massive and tedious project, and no one was willing to take this hard job. In the end, this mess naturally fell to Guhan. His colleagues were waiting to see Guhan fail, but they did not know that this was the opportunity one and Guhan had been waiting for. Guhan spent a whole month organizing the mountain of data. Not only that, Guhan found a shocking secret from an inconspicuous note. When the emperor ascended the throne, a prince with great military achievements was executed for rebellion. The evidence Guhan found pointed to it being a false case, and the real rebel was someone else. And that killer was the current crown prince's grandfather, the powerful Duke of Zhen. When Guhan told me this discovery, my hand shook. I knew the opportunity for me and Guhan had come. This discovery cannot be moved for now. Why? This is the best chance to take down the crown prince. No, now is not the time. The crown prince's foundation is deep, and the Duke of Zhen holds military power. Relying only on a single piece of evidence in a note cannot move them. Reporting it rashly will only alert them and get us involved. We must must hold this bomb in our hands and throw it at the most critical moment. Although Guhan didn't fully understand, he chose to trust me. Guhan carefully hid that evidence and then presented the organized history materials to the emperor. Seeing the organized materials, the emperor was very pleased. When the emperor learned it was all Guhan's work alone, he praised Guhan even more. Guhan, I remember you are this year's Tanhualang. You are young and hardworking. Very good. The head of the Hanlin Academy didn't dare to claim the credit. Guhan answered according to what I taught him in advance. This is all your majesty's blessing. I have only done my duty. One sentence both praised the emperor and made himself look humble. The emperor was increasingly satisfied and immediately ordered Guhan to be fully responsible for the history compilation and promoted Guhan to Hanlin lecturer, moving up 2 ranks. Those colleagues who once excluded Guhan were all stunned. From this day on, no one dared to look down on Guhan. Guhan's position in the Hanlin Academy was stable. I opened the most luxurious restaurant in the capital, called Tianxia Mansion. Tianxia Mansion not only had novel dishes and good service, but more importantly, it became a center for information exchange. The princes, nobles, and officials of the capital liked to host banquets here. After some wine and food, many secrets were unintentionally spread. I had Guhan invite the 7th Prince Li Lan to Tianxia Mansion. Li Lan praised my business way highly, and I casually revealed some unpleasant rumors about the Crown Prince and the Duke of Zhen to him. For example, how the Duke's son was tyrannical in the capital and seized civilian girls, and how the Crown Prince was extravagant in the Eastern Palace and favored villains. Li Lan was smart. He understood my hints and began to mention these things unintentionally in front of the emperor. Once or twice he might not believe, but after many times, the seeds of suspicion were planted. The emperor began to secretly send people to investigate the Crown Prince and the Duke of Zhen, while I passed perfectly timed secrets to the spies through the Tianxia Mansion network. Everything was going according to my plan. Just as the Crown Prince and the Duke of Zhen were exhausted by the emperor's suspicion, an unexpected person appeared in the capital. The male lead of the original book, the young general Lin Zhaoyuan. Lin Zhaoyuan was ordered to escort the northern barbarian delegation to the capital. I knew Guhan's true opponent had come. Lin Zhaoyuan was clean and upright, possessing all traditional virtues. Sure enough, soon after entering the capital, Lin Zhaoyuan had a conflict with the Crown Prince's faction. The cause was the Duke of Zhen's younger son riding a horse in the street and injuring a commoner. Passing by, Lin Zhaoyuan directly arrested the person and sent him to the capital magistrate's office. People from the Duke's mansion went to demand the person back, but Lin Zhaoyuan blocked them with the phrase the prince commits a crime just like the commoners. This matter became very big and finally reached the emperor. The Crown Prince's faction naturally tried hard to protect the person, while other princes were happy to watch the show and step on the Crown Prince. Guhan watched coldly. What should we do? Do nothing. Let them fight like dogs. But Lin Zhaoyuan is not simple. He is a good blade, but right now this blade is in someone else's hand. What we need to do is wait for him to be alone. The final result of this matter was each side taking a step back. To comfort the Duke, the emperor only fined the Duke's son 3 months' salary and grounded him for half a year. To reward Lin Zhaoyuan's uprightness, he was given much gold and silver. It seemed everyone was happy, but everyone knew Lin Zhaoyuan and the Crown Prince's faction were now enemies. Lin Zhaoyuan was also regarded as a fellow traveler by many pure-hearted officials because of this, becoming a new rising force in the court. One day, 7th Prince Li Lan came to find Guhan. He brought news that the Minister of Revenue was investigated for corruption and the position became vacant. This was a profitable job and a key position. Several factions in the court were staring at this position, fighting fiercely. Brother Gu, I hope you can help me so my person can take this position. In return, I will hand the position of Minister of Revenue to you. Refuse him. Why? This is our best chance to enter the core of power. Have you forgotten what I said? Don't take sides easily. The current situation is like a chess game. Several forces are equal. Once we take a side, we become the enemy's target. Moreover, the position of Minister of Revenue is a fire pit now. Whoever sits there will face a huge mess. So what we need to do is not grab this position, but give it to our enemy. Doesn't the Crown Prince always want to place his own person? We will help him. In the following days, Guhan became active in the court unusually. Using his convenience in compiling history, he often explained the importance of the revenue ministry to the emperor. Although he didn't explicitly say whom he supported, his words pointed to the Crown Prince's uncle, Li Wei. The emperor was originally not interested in him, but the Crown Prince's faction kept whispering in his ear every day. Plus, with Guhan, the neutral talent, the emperor was convinced. He felt that letting his own relative Li Wei manage the money bag was more reassuring than trusting other princes' people. So, amidst controversy, the emperor overrode all opinions and appointed Li Wei as the new Minister of Revenue. When the news came, the Crown Prince's party celebrated. 7th Prince Li Lan was so angry he almost smashed his cup. He found Guhan and questioned him on why he betrayed him. Your Highness, please calm down. This official is only discussing the matter as it is and did not favor anyone. Although the national uncle has ordinary talent, he is a royal relative and can keep the situation stable. Exceptional times require exceptional measures. He spoke these words very grandly. Although Li Lan was angry, he couldn't find any fault. As soon as Li Wei took office, he didn't disappoint. He made the revenue ministry a mess, placing his cronies and excluding excluding others. The method he proposed, tax increases. For a time, the people were full of complaints. I let the storytellers of Tianxia Mansion turn these things into stories, spreading them through the streets and alleys of the capital. That national uncle is digging 3 feet deep. The people's life is bitter. Public anger was incited to the extreme. Even those officials who originally supported the crown prince began to waver. At this time, Lin Zhaoyuan stood up. He jointly submitted a memorial with dozens of censors, listing 10 major crimes of national uncle Li Wei, pointing directly at the crown prince behind him. This memorial exploded in the court. The crown prince's party naturally fought back, saying Lin Zhaoyuan was slandering and fear-mongering and was sent by other princes to cause trouble. The court again argued uncontrollably. The emperor had a headache from the noise and couldn't decide. But Li Wei was the crown prince's uncle after all. Moving him was like hitting the crown prince's face. In this tense moment, Gu Han submitted his memorial. His memorial was not long, but its weight was heavier than Lin Zhaoyuan's 10,000-word letter, because attached to it were accounts recording every abnormal expense of the revenue ministry since Li Wei took office, and every tale of silver that flowed into the Eastern Palace. This evidence was collected bit by me through the Tianxia Mansion network and organized by Gu Han, who was an expert in accounts. There was a dead silence in the Golden Throne Hall. Everyone's eyes were on Gu Han. This young man, usually silent in court, now became the center determining the storm's direction. The emperor looked at the accounts, his face turning iron blue. The crown prince knelt below, shaking like a sieve. National uncle Li Wei collapsed directly on the floor. Gu Han, are you sure these accounts are true? Answering your majesty, this official guarantees with his head that every word is true. Guards, drag Li Wei down and put him in the dungeon for thorough investigation. All involved will be strictly punished. The crown prince is grounded in the Eastern Palace to reflect. Without my decree, he is not allowed to take a step out. A world-shaking court storm ended this way with Gu Han's light piece of account work. National uncle Li Wei was finally sentenced to immediate execution. The crown prince's party scattered. Dozens of officials were implicated and jailed. Gu Han has merit in reporting. Promote him to vice minister of revenue. He finally stepped into the real center of power. More importantly, he proved his value. 7th Princely Lan again offered an olive branch to Gu Han. Lord Gu, I truly want. And Lin Zhaoyuan also gained a good impression of Gu Han, a capable official who did not fear power. Following my instructions, Gu Han kept a distance from both sides. He now had his own chips and no longer needed to depend on anyone. With the crown prince down, a vacuum appeared in the court's power structure. The remaining princes fought even harder to seize this vacuum, while I and Gu Han hid in the center of the storm, watching coldly as they fought to the death for that supreme position. Now do you still want to rebel? Mother taught me correctly. Playing with power is much more interesting than using knives and guns. I looked at him. An even crazier plan was slowly forming in my heart. After Gu Han became vice minister of revenue, the first difficulty he faced was how to fill the treasury's deficit. This was a dead end. Increasing taxes would cause rebellion, and not increasing taxes meant the country couldn't run. The court argued for over half a month. The emperor threw this problem to Gu Han. Gu Han locked himself in the study for 3 days and nights. On the 4th day, he came to me with a plan. The name of the plan was strange: observing mountains and seas and the reform policy for salt and iron monopolies. Not bad, you even know how to make money. The core idea of Gu Han's plan was simple: take profitable businesses, like salt, iron, tea, and wine, and make them state-owned, managed and sold uniformly by the government. This way, the state's financial income could be guaranteed, and merchants could be prevented from hoarding and disrupting the market. This method is feasible, but have you thought about whose interests this will touch? The salt merchants, iron merchants, and the noble families behind them. Correct. Cutting off someone's wealth is like killing their parents. Once this policy is pushed, they will definitely counterattack crazily. Then you will face not just political enemies in court. Then what should be done? What to do? Of course, find someone to take the blame. No. Find a like-minded ally to push this together. Lin Zhaoyuan would be very good. Lin Zhaoyuan? Will he agree? He will, because your policy is a great thing for the country and the people. This completely fits Lin Zhaoyuan's political ideals. And he also needs you, the Vice Minister of Revenue, to provide support in the execution of the policy. You two, one play the bad cop and one play the good cop. He is responsible for charging ahead and shouting, and by the way, firmly grasping the benefits brought by reform in his own hands. Whether success or failure, it is good for us. Mother, you are truly a genius. I happily accepted this praise. Gu Han went to find Lin Zhaoyuan. The process was even smoother than I imagined. For the country and people, I will not turn back even in death. I am willing to push this great reform with you. General Lin is righteous. I admire you. As expected, as soon as the policy was proposed, it faced crazy opposition. They labeled Lin Zhaoyuan and Gu Han as competing for profit with the people and disrupting the foundation of the country. For a time, memorials impeaching them piled up on the emperor's desk. But this time the emperor surprisingly stood with Lin Zhaoyuan and Gu Han. The reason was simple: the empty treasury made him, the emperor, very unhappy. Now that someone was willing to get money for him, why wouldn't he? With the emperor's support, the reform began to be pushed forward with difficulty. Lin Zhaoyuan fully played his role as a hothead. He debated with everyone in court, fighting the entire conservative conservative group alone. His reputation among pure officials and the people reached its peak. In just half a year, the treasury's income doubled. Looking at the white silver, the emperor smiled from ear to ear and repeatedly praised Lin Zhaoyuan and Gu Han in court. Lin Zhaoyuan gained reputation, the emperor gained money, and Gu Han gained solid power. Now the newly established Salt and Iron Office was filled with his people from top to bottom. The national salt and iron monopoly network was firmly in his hands. This was not just a tool for making money, but also an intelligence network across the country. He had begun to move from a simple civil official to a powerful official holding the economic lifeline. And all this was done under the cover of Lin Zhaoyuan's halo of justice. Lin Zhaoyuan regarded Gu Han as a comrade. The emperor relied on Gu Han more and more. Several princes fighting for the throne also tried harder to win him over. Even my grand tutor father shamelessly sent people to deliver heavy gifts and mentioned marriage again. I told Gu Han to accept the gifts, and the marriage was still delayed. Yes, now we have a bigger ambition. Recently there was a flood in Jiangnan, and refugees flowed into the capital. The seventh prince's arrival is an honor. Madame truly has great methods. One salt and iron reform, using Lin Zhaoyuan's name to control the nation's grain and money. To be honest, the crown prince is deposed, several brothers are fighting to the death, and father is old. Who this great Chang's world will finally belong to is unknown. I want to compete. Your Highness said this because you want Gu Han to help you. I know Lord Gu listens to Madam. As long as Madam nods, Lord Gu won't be a problem. I need money, I need people, I need support in court. And these, Lord Gu or you, Madam, can give me. After it succeeds, I promise Lord Gu will be the head of the cabinet, above 10,000 people and below only one. And you, Madam, will be a first-rank titled lady, enjoying supreme glory. Your Highness, head of the cabinet and first-rank lady sound not bad, but have you thought about a better choice? What do you mean? Instead of helping someone else be emperor, why not let Gu Han be the emperor? You are crazy. If this word gets out, it is the crime of executing 9 generations. What is your Highness afraid of? There are no outsiders here. Gu Han, he is named Gu, not Li. Is that important? The founding emperor of the previous dynasty was also a cowherd. Your Highness, what do you think Gu Han's true identity is? Don't you wonder why a merchant family in Jiangnan would adopt a child, and it happened to be one the former emperor specifically mentioned to care for? Could it be he is? Correct, he is the only bloodline of the former crown prince. Even so what? The former dynasty is gone. To want to change dynasties based on a hollow identity is nothing but a dream. Of course not just by an identity, but also by you, Your Highness. Although you are a prince, you have no advantage. If you want to climb to that position, you can only take a risky move, and we are your biggest chance. Think about it. If we cooperate, you are in the light and we are in the dark, using your prince identity to develop your power in court, while we use the identity and money in hand to secretly contact the old dynasty's followers and recruit soldiers. When the time is ripe, you launch a coup in the palace to clear the emperor's side and remove villains. We respond outside the city in the name of restoring the legitimate line. By then, the world is ours. After it succeeds, the land can be divided. You be the king of the north and Gu Han be the emperor of the south, dividing by the river and not invading each other. This is better than you being terrified now, not knowing when you will become meat on someone else's cutting board. Sigh, mother, how much certainty do you have? 50%. Isn't that too low? Not low. For something like usurping the throne, even 10% hope is worth the gamble, let alone we have 50. We are in the dark and the enemy is in the light. They are still fighting to the death for that throne. Li Lan will be our best shield. He will attract all the fire for us. And what you need to do is keep climbing up. I understand. From that day on, Gu Han changed and began to show his sharpness bit by bit. He no longer intentionally kept a distance from Lin Zhaoyuan but actively cooperated with him to win a reputation for himself. He no longer refused the recruitment of other princes but moved smoothly between them, using their conflicts to gain benefits for himself. His rank became higher and higher, from Vice Minister of Revenue to Minister of Works, then to Minister of Personnel. In just 5 years, he entered the cabinet with his extraordinary skills and political achievements. I agree to cooperate with you. Cooperation is your only way out. Now we are waiting for the timing that can turn Great Chang upside down. The timing came in the 2nd year after Gu Han entered the cabinet. The old emperor was seriously ill and could no longer handle state affairs. The position of heir had not been decided for a long time, and this was exactly the best opportunity one had been waiting for. On a night when wind and rain were coming, the invisible net silently tightened. The third prince thought he had bribed the commander of the Imperial Guard and was sure of victory. He didn't know that person was already our man. Screams, "Let go of me, you dare!" A coup instantly became a suppression of rebellion. The third prince was captured on the spot. At the morning court the next day, Li Lan escorted the third prince and cried to the emperor on his sickbed. Gu Han, as a witness, presented forged secret letters between the third prince and the guard commander. Rebellious son, demote him to a commoner and imprison him for life. Before everyone could regain their senses, the fifth prince's rebel army had arrived at the city walls. Report, the fifth prince's rebel army is at the city gates. He raised the flag of clearing the emperor's side, claiming Li Lan and Gu Han were treacherous officials. The capital fell into panic instantly, and the court was restless. At this time, Lin Zhaoyuan stood up, volunteered to lead the army out to meet the rebels. I had Gu Han strongly support Lin Zhaoyuan in court and hand him the command of the newly reorganized capital troops. Lin Zhaoyuan was moved to tears and bravely went out to fight, but the result was surprisingly a great defeat. When the news reached the capital, the whole court was shaken, and everyone fell into despair. Just then, Gu Han was appointed at the moment of crisis as the commander-in-chief of the capital's defense. He climbed the city tower, faced the rebel army below and the fearful residents inside, and delivered a speech enough to be recorded in history. He used the most naked fear to trigger everyone's desire to survive, then opened the treasury and took out all the wealth to reward the army and the defending citizens. Hold the city, and this gold is yours. If you can't hold it, you will all suffer. Under heavy rewards, there must be brave men. The desire to survive plus the money stimulus made the residents, who had lost their will to fight, burst into amazing combat power. For the next 3 days and nights, the 5th Prince's rebels charged the city walls again and again, only to be beaten back. Gu Han always stood on the city tower, personally beating the drum to cheer. On the 4th day, just as the capital's defenders were about to run out of food and ammunition, a turning point appeared. A large army under the flag of saving the country from disaster appeared. Instantly, a forest of spears, with several spear tips reflecting the cold light of turning back, gave the rebels a fatal blow from behind. The 5th Prince was attacked from both front and back and collapsed instantly, being killed in the chaos. When the general of that army took off his helmet, revealing a face 70% similar to Gu Han's, everyone was shocked. That was the Prince of Jinnan from the previous dynasty. Subject is late to save the king. Long live the emperor. Rise. The previous dynasty should be established. The previous dynasty is gone. From today on, I am the master of this world. The era name is Kai Yuan. After hearing the news of the 5th Prince's defeat and the lifting of the capital's siege, the old emperor passed away. Subject Li Lan welcomes the new king. Long live the king. A change of dynasties was completed in a nearly peaceful atmosphere. A new dynasty was born in Gu Han's hands. As the mother of the new emperor, I was honored as the Empress Dowager and moved into the Sinang Palace. On the day of the enthronement ceremony, I watched Gu Han wearing the dragon robe and walking to the throne, my heart full of mixed emotions. Mother, this world was won for me by you. Whatever you want, I can give you. If you want to rule from behind the curtain, it is not impossible. I have no interest in dealing with those trivial memorials. Being the emperor is fine, but don't be a good emperor. Water that is too clear has no fish. What you need to do is firmly grasp the world's wealth in your hands, use this money to raise the strongest army, and do anything you want. History is written by the victors. As long as the people have food to eat, you are a great emperor of the ages. Mother, I understand. Looking at his retreating figure, I knew my task was completely finished.